Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and that you had a good weekend. At this point, we have finished Unit 3. Of course, if you weren't able to complete all of the Unit 3 assignments yet, you can still do that for full credit. But today is the beginning of Unit 4. So I'm looking forward to studying nationalism with you all. The way that Chastain kind of frames nationalism is in terms of thinking about how Latin American governments in particular and a lot of political figures started to push back against the notion that everything good came from Europe or the United States. Started to push back against those ideas of scientific racism that said that people of mixed heritage were lesser than people of pure heritage and certainly lesser than those of Anglo-Saxon heritage. And again, as we've read, those were prominent ideas that were quote unquote scientific. I have to say that in the scare quotes, because today those ideas are considered pseudoscience. There's nothing scientific about them. They were racist. And so nationalism in the early part of the 20th century was one of the kind of ideologies that allowed Latin Americans to push back against that and say, no, look, we are strong, we are important, valuable on our own terms. Of course, within that, though, there was still a lot of inequity within Latin American nations themselves. So all things to keep in mind. We'll also be studying the Mexican Revolution as an example of a social revolution that had some nationalist goals behind it. And I've spent lots of time studying the Mexican Revolution, and so I'm very much looking forward to talking about that with you all this week. I wanted to say thank you to those of you who participated in the provide comment on the assignments opportunities on the discussion board this week. Based on the feedback that I've gotten, I hope that I'm going to be able to answer some questions about the journal assignment. I'm always here for help with Tiki-Taki if you need it. I think we'll keep those assignments as is based on the responses that I got from you all. I do believe that I will alter the reading tweets assignment a little bit. And somebody pointed out, that you can't make an assignment that will please everyone or that will appeal to everyone. And I totally agree. I know that's true. What I do want to do, though, is let you feel like this is our class. I try to always say our class, not my class, in the communications I have with you. And so I was trying to give you a way to make the class yours and find the things that will really help you to learn the most about modern Latin America and get the most out of this experience. And so that's the spirit that I put that out there for you. So again, I'm going to probably come later this afternoon or maybe tomorrow morning, post some revisions to the reading tweets assignment. If you're doing the reading tweets as is, that's fine. I'm going to keep that as an option. We can still have those conversations on Twitter, but I'm also going to open up an option to do the same thing in Brightspace on the discussion board. Because as some of you pointed out, even though in the instructions that I provided for reading tweets for that assignment on that sheet, I tried to point out that I recognize Twitter can be a problematic space, especially as we work publicly. It's not something that's shielded from trolls and that kind of thing. And that those are very real concerns. It's very different for me as a straight white male to go on Twitter and not worry about trolls to the same extent as other people from different ethnic and gender backgrounds. And so I don't want anyone to feel unsafe, and I want everyone to feel like there's a space where you can communicate, can discuss, can talk about the big ideas that we're learning in terms of modern Latin America. So again, the choice will be up to you. If you're comfortable with Twitter, you're liking the way that's working, keep working there. If you would rather not, I'm going to open up some spaces on the discussion board where you can complete, essentially the same assignment, but you'll be doing it inside of Brightspace. So, all right. And I think I might make some tweaks to the kind of formulaic nature of 10 comments, 5 replies. And so be looking for that as well. Please let me know if you have any questions, any concerns. If you're interested, I'll offer this for extra credit. I'm going to have Dr. Catherine Massoth from UNM on Zoom this Wednesday at 3 o'clock. She's going to come visit my Intro to Historical Study class. So she's not going to be talking about Latin America per se. She's a historian of the American West. She focuses on the history of gender in the borderlands. So she does do some Mexican history. But primarily, she's going to talk about the experience of doing research in archives and how that's been upended and reshaped by the pandemic, what that has meant for her work. So it's more about how you do history versus something specific about Latin American history. But if you're interested in that, I'll put a link below this video and you can join us and earn some extra credit. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon.